Weeks ago, I decided to drive up from Nashville, Tennessee to visit my son in Milwaukee. I've rarely been that far north. I've spent a lot of time in the Caribbean, in Florida, and in Oregon, but Wisconsin is a totally different landscape for me. While I was there, we decided to spend the day driving up the coast to go to the Whitefish Dune State Park. It was beautiful. We got out and walked, and I was surprised by the sounds of the waves. For some reason, I didn't really imagine waves in the Great Lakes. I felt like I was transported back to a lot of the other beaches I had spent time on. There were these beautiful sand dunes with all these grasses growing on them, waving in the wind. As we walked down the steps to the beach, there was a man who you could tell had probably worked there many years, sweeping up sand. You could picture him just perpetually sweeping up sand, trying to put it back into place to form the walkway. It reminded me of my job. I work in a career center in Nashville, and I feel that I'm always shifting people around, only to have them fall back into the same slot. We walked a long time on the beach. Surprisingly, there were ladybugs there. They were everywhere, and they completely covered a post. I felt a strong sense of peace. I had moved to Tennessee and been landlocked for over 15 years. I love the mountains and forests. They're beautiful, but you do feel more contained in them. And I hadn't thought about that until I saw the openness of being by one of the Great Lakes. I think the biggest thing that I took away from that experience is that you do lose perspective. Being out there on the beach and looking out onto the lake, you feel like that the world is endless and that there really are possibilities and paths you can take. And I had lost that thought. People I work with at the Career Center often feel that their paths have run out. And this just reminded me that it doesn't have to be true. Being out there by the lake, if only between yourself, the horizon, the waves, and hell, even the ladybugs, you really do feel that there are paths and choices. I left my son in Milwaukee, but I brought this thought home with me.